entrepreneurship, and especially here in Iowa. I'm chair of this Internet and Technology Network, and we have 1,400 companies around the world that are members of this, and some of the members include luminaries like the president of eBay and the founder of Intuit QuickBooks and the CEO of Rackspace and on and on. So these really giant companies, but there's a lot of middle-sized companies as well. And on one of my trips representing the network, I was in Silicon Valley in December. And I'm sitting around a table, after work drinks with some of these CEOs of these tech companies. And I'm sort of like a fly on the wall. I'm sitting there and I'm listening to the conversation. And if you know Silicon Valley, it's a different way of thinking about business. One guy leans over and says, "Hey, congratulations on your exit." And he says, "Well, congratulations on your exit." And of course, they're talking about, well, they sold their companies. They owned them for 2 years and sold them for millions and on and on. And the next guy, starts talking about, he thinks his exit will be, sometime next year and on. And then they turned to me and they said, "Now, Steve, tell us about your business." And I said, all right. Well, we started in our basement in 1997, and, we've slowly built it over 13, 16 years now to where it is. And one of the guys looks at me and he says, "That's just, that's so interesting to hear about a company that actually started, didn't gain any funding, and is still around after 16 years. And I thought the exact opposite, that it was interesting to listen to them talking about all these exits. And, part of building a business, to me, is thinking big. Sometimes when you're in the Midwest, you think, this market. But in this day and age, in the day of the internet and the day of telephones, there's no reason that somebody in Iowa, somebody in Illinois, can't build a business as large as businesses in Silicon Valley or anywhere else in the United States. And the bottom line is we have funding available now. There was a time when funding was somewhat limited, but anywhere you go in the United States now, you can find funding. I had the privilege a couple of years ago of sitting at a table in Seattle, and I sat next to a guy who had served on 3 corporate boards. He was one of the executives in 3 corporations: Oracle, Apple, and Amazon. And because I was in Seattle, he was currently working for Amazon. And he had worked directly with Larry Ellison of Oracle, Steve Jobs at Apple, and Jeff Bezos at Amazon. And so, I thought, wow, what a great moment to maybe learn something. And so I looked at him and I said, "If you could tell me the difference between those 3 leaders, I think that would be very interesting." And he said, all 3 had very different leadership styles. Larry Ellison was all about beating the competition. And if you know anything, if you read the stories about Larry Ellison at Oracle, he's very competitive. And he was all about, every time they had a meeting, he wanted to identify the competitors and focus on beating the competition. He said Steve Jobs was nothing like that. Steve Jobs was really oblivious to the competition. He was all about and fanatical about getting the product right. He believed that if you got the product right, that your company would succeed. He said, now Jeff Bezos, he really can't control the quality of the product because he's not producing it. Jeff Bezos, from day one, has been all about getting the customer experience right. And so, lesson number 1 that I've learned along the way is that succeeding, building a great business or a great nonprofit or whatever your goal is, there's not necessarily one way to do it. And there's not necessarily one type of leader. But you do have to be committed to making it happen. Lesson number 2, and this one always, I'll tell you this. Every day that you get up and that you go to work and create jobs and create wealth, what you are doing is funding all the programs in the government. You are providing millions of dollars of income to local families. You are providing health insurance to thousands and thousands of people across this community just by getting up and going to your business and doing what you do. You are creating a social good. And to me, that's worth celebrating. And so to all of you, the award winners today, and to everybody else in the room who makes the engine of this nation turn, I tip my hat to you and say thank you for what you do, and let's make it happen for the Quad Cities. Thank you.